Hey, welcome to this session of Collaborative Leadership. This is going to be a very short session, but incredibly important. I've called the session How to Delegate Decision Making. So part of collaborative leadership is, of course, delegating to others to make decisions. You as the leader should only be making maybe 10% of the decisions on your own. Many decisions are delegated, and then other decisions are group decisions. So helping others learn how to make decisions is really important. And there are two things I want us to get a hold of in this session. And the first is this, that everyone should be clear of responsibility, and everyone should be clear they've been given authority. If you have responsibility with no authority, you're going to be extremely frustrated because you've been told you can do something, but on the other hand, given no authority to go away and do it. On the other hand, you don't want to be giving away authority without responsibility. That makes no sense. So let's look at these two things and how they shape you delegating decision making. Okay, the first is responsibility. To delegate decision making, you need to make clear what the responsibility is you're asking of someone. Now, it may be in a sort of volunteer circles where you're giving away small chunks of responsibility, almost tasks to someone. Then that clarity of responsibility can be done very simply. It can be done on a cue card. Here you go. Here are your responsibilities for your duties of hosting for a Sunday service, for example. But the responsibilities are clear. For a job, maybe on staff, a larger role with greater breadth, of course, a job description or a role profile needs to be drawn up so it is clear what the purpose of their role is, what the key accountabilities of their role are, and what core competencies you're expecting them to display in order to be able to fulfill that responsibility. Help someone understand exactly what their job is. Don't just give it to them in paper. Talk it through with them in the introductory weeks of their job. Make sure you're coaching them on the job. Make sure they're getting a chance to shadow you as you show them how a role or task is done. That show and tell is always the best way to delegate responsibility. Now, once they know what their responsibility is, you need to set the parameters of their authority. What do I mean by that? That is to say, hey, here's the budget that goes with your job. You can make decisions however you like within this budget. Or these are the expectations of the role. We don't just want you to do this job. We expect you to grow a team. We expect you to delegate through a team. These are important values of ours. Start to express the values that become the filters through which they will in the future make those decisions. And finally, how do you reinforce it? Reinforcing is the most important thing you can do as a leader. I'll give you an example. If someone were to come to you and ask you a question, someone in your team that you know the answer to, but you know it's within the realm of their responsibility and their authority, the only way that you are going to make clear the parameters of their authority, the only way that you're going to show them that you are delegating authority to them is to make sure you do not answer that question. So one of my favorite sayings is, you decide. You decide. Whatever you think. What are you doing? It may sound like you're deflecting. It may sound like you're not interested, but you're not at all. You're empowering. You're saying, this is within the realm of your authority. You can go away and decide. Oh, do you like this color or this color? I don't mind. You decide. Should I spend it on this or that? You decide. Should I choose this team member or this team member? You decide. You know them better than me. Now, in the early days of someone in their role, they will need coaching. So rather than saying you decide, you may say something like, what are the options you've thought about? What different approaches have you taken before? Through asking questions, Learning the art of asking questions is the greatest art you can have in terms of leadership coaching. Start to ask questions without answering it yourself. Help them find the solution within themselves. The art of asking questions is a whole nother session. Maybe we'll have time to do that another time. But the art of delegating decision making is really important. Help them know responsibility and reinforce to them the authority that you're giving away. I hope that's been helpful.